of Ottawa. GM Yeesh here, and we are up here at the Year 1 NHL Entry Draft. But before we get to that, we have some comments from the analyst boys, and you'll notice a very common theme here amongst them. Let's get to it. The first one reads, "Great job on the Cody Ceci trade." Thank you, Noah. "Personally, I think you should focus on securing a franchise goalie in the draft, and that medium elite looks like he could be that," referring to Dimitri. He goes on to say, "Since it's the most important position, with a good enough goalie like Price, you can turn an average team into a contender." Now, you're 100% right, goaltending is the most important job, but because they play all 60 minutes, they're going to cycle through all four lines of forwards, all through pairings of D, right? Their stats are also heavily reliant on the team around them. That's why Carey Price is such a rare and unique situation. If you can find a goalie who gives you Carey Price's numbers consistently, then I would absolutely take him over a number one center. But they are so rare and hard to find, and I'm hoping that Ukrainian Tindy can be our Carey Price, and I will be targeting him in the draft. No worries about that. The next analyst also thinks we should trade up at the draft. Have a look at this, boys. I trade up at the draft. The Senators have a lot of top 6 forwards and top 4 D as is, but really lack that elite forward talent. Or you could use the picks and some prospects to land that established goal scorer. And the next comment echoes this, quoting, "Agreed, we have our quantity right now, a plethora of prospects that can pan out to be middle 6 forwards. Now we need to use it to get quality." All right. Now, I'm against trading away our picks, boys, simply because we only have 12 or so guys who could end up being long-term, who are young, who could end up being long-term players on our roster, right? And remember, we can't build our team through free agency, at least not any big pieces. So we only have 12 guys, and that's assuming they all grow and they fit the system. And down the line, right, when we're a contending team, we might have to get rid of those guys for cap reasons. So I want to fill the cupboard a little more. I'm against trading away our picks, and we need to get as much quantity as we can early in this rebuild. Now, with that being said, you guys clearly want me to trade up for this guy, DeAndre Sanford. I read that loud and clear, boys. So I did my due diligence, and I went out and I did some pre-scouting. And I want to show you boys why I don't think we can trade up this year barring an absolute miracle. But before we jump into the draft, I figure we can go ahead and look at the awards for this season, right? Just to see who won what for kicks and giggles here. So Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup, yeah. The Tampa Bay Lightning won the President's Trophy. I believe they got eliminated in the first round. Never let it be said this game isn't realistic. Yeah, Stars won the Western Conference. And somehow the Blue Jackets managed to win the East. I wonder if Bobrovsky and Panarin are going to re-sign in this universe. That'll be very interesting to watch. See if the NHL shifts. All right, so player awards. Tyler Seguin wins the Art Ross. Very nice. So 2 Dallas Stars. Ben and Seguin have won the Art Ross in twice in 5 years. Is that? Seguin wins the Hart. Very nice. John Carlson wins the Norris as the league's best defenseman. Shabbat and Branny will be in the running for this trophy, boys, for years to come. Make no mistake about it. Tyler Seguin wins the Lady Byng. I wonder if he won the Conn Smythe. Patterson wins the Calder. Yeah, no argument there. Kachuk had a fantastic season on third line, but not close. Bishop wins the Conn Smythe. Okay, so Ben Bishop, I could see that. He was insane in real life as well. I think he should have won the Vezina, but that's fair. Jordan Binnington, as a rookie, wins the Vezina Trophy. How is he not the Calder winner? Is Binnington not a rookie? Wow. Interesting. So he's the best goalie in the league, but not the best rookie. I mean, Pedersen did have an absolutely historic season. I guess he is 24, is Binnington. Vasilevsky wins the Williams and Jennings. Very nice. And Mark Borowiecki. Look at that, boys. The Ottawa Senators showing up to the NHL Awards. How about that? Our PR foot soldier, Mark Borowiecki, wins the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy, awarded under the trusteeship of the Professional Hockey Writers Association to the NHL player who best exemplifies the qualities of perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. So after taking 211 penalty minutes, he is the very essence of sportsmanship and dedication. Love to see it. Giroux wins the Selke. Wow, interesting. Is he a center in this game? Very interesting. Tyler Seguin wins the Ted Lindsay. So we won the Art Ross, the Hart, the Ted Lindsay, and the Lady Byng. Or did he win the Hart? I don't know. Ovechkin, Rocket Richard, very nice. every single year, it feels like. Did Sagan win the Hart? Yeah. He won the Hart. Yeah, okay. So, with all that out of the way, boys, let's go ahead and hop into the Year 1 NHL entry draft and get this started up. And I went ahead and did some pre-scouting, like I said. And I wanted to try and see if I could honor you guys' wishes, right? The fans, the analysts clearly want us to get DeAndre Sanford. Boys, I just don't think it can happen. Look at this. So the Predators, they want to give up the first round pick, or the first overall. We're not trading for it. Realistically, no one's going to pass up on a franchise talent like Jack Hughes, right? So that meant the Ducks. Now the Ducks do want to give up the second overall pick, and we could pick Sanford instead of Kakko, right? Because honestly, like, if you look at their stats, Kakko has a higher potential, but honestly, I believe Sanford's the better player. But I went ahead and drew it up. The only way this move makes sense for the Ducks, right, is if we take on Ryan Kesler's contract. And I'm not going to do that. Now, the game's kind of glitched to where it lists the current year until free agency starts. So really, Kesler only has 3 years left at 6.85. But then we'd have about $22 million in unmovable cap space. $26 million in Gaborik, Bobby Ryan, David Backes, and then Ryan Kesler. The one strength we have right now against other teams is cap space, and the fact that we can say, hey, you know how you guys are in cap trouble for a year. We'll take that cap off your hands, give us some assets, right? I wouldn't be able to do that if I traded for Kesler, and I just don't see it being worth it. So that leaves the third overall pick, the Detroit Red Wings, and yeah, they don't want to give it up. I won't trade for a pick. It doesn't make any realistic sense for Detroit to a rebuilding team to give up their first round pick, right? Now, I will say this, boys. Colorado does want to give it up. They are a contending team. They have contending status. They made the playoffs, and they do want to give up the fourth overall pick, right? But Sanford isn't falling to fourth. He's projected to go third, and there's no way the computer passes up on such an elite, elusive talent, right? I mean, this kid is someone who could go first overall in 90% of drafts, I feel. Look at that. A+ skating, A+ puck skills, A+ shooting, A-level senses. I mean, he's a perfect all-around player. His NHL comparison is Patrick Kane. There's no way he falls. And I'm not trading up for either of these defensemen, especially since they're left-handed shot. So, boys, I will say this. If by some miracle DeAndre Sanford falls to fourth, I will do everything within my power to trade up to that fourth overall pick from Colorado. But I don't see it in the cards. I will go ahead, simulate the picks here. I expect Nashville to take Hughes first. Yes, sir. Now it's interesting. We might not even get to see Detroit take DeAndre Sanford. I believe the Ducks might. Kakko has the high elite potential, right? But look at this. A- shooting. His puck skills are the same. His senses are worse. His skating is worse. His physical is worse. And his defense is the same. So Kakko is 100% a worse player than DeAndre Sanford. He just has a higher ceiling. If I were the Ducks and I was trying to win sooner rather than later, which it seems like the Ducks are trying to do, I would trade for, I might take DeAndre Sanford. So he might not even go third overall. He might go second. But we'll go ahead and see here. All right, the Ducks take Kaapo Kakko. So that just leaves the Detroit Red Wings. Now, I guess, okay, I don't want to give you boys false hope, right? But Detroit does have two medium elite right wingers in Zadina and Mantha. And maybe they're saying, hey, we already have two medium elite right wingers. Why would we want a third, right? Maybe we'll take the defenseman because we do need an elite defenseman, that number one. But compare these guys' stats. Like, which would you take? Regardless of need, I would take that right winger and then ship out one of Zadina or Mantha. Probably Mantha if I had to. You don't pass up on someone this good, right? This is a genuine first overall pick. Now, maybe they... Now, I'm not going to give you boys false hope. I don't see any way Detroit doesn't. Okay, I will go ahead and simulate Um, I oh. Troy, what is you? Oh, oh dear. All right, we're on the clock, boys. We are on the clock. Shoot. All right. Darn it. I had a whole plan going into the draft, and this just throws a monkey wrench in it. What am I willing to give up here? What am I willing to give up? All right. Let's see. I gotta throw in Boston's pick. Absolutely. Shoot. All right. We're on the clock, boys. We are on the clock to make a trade here. What's it going to take? Now, Zach Smith. No. Like maybe do think they need him, but he's not going to get us. I'm not giving up Kachuk or Shabbat. Batherson is staying. Tierney, I could give him up, but that trade value isn't going to. I might have to give up Colin White, boys. All right. Calm down. Slow her down. Let's see. Colin White. He's a two-way forward. He's a center. The way I see it, this guy is either going to be our number 2 or number 3 behind Logan Brown, and we need that number 1 center for the future. And he doesn't really fit the team mold, right? He's not fantastic at faceoffs. He's solid defensively, which is great, but he's slow, and his passing isn't as great. Whereas Logan Brown is also slow, but he's bigger, he's stronger, and he can make up for his lack of speed by breaking the puck out quickly. And maybe Josh Norris, right, we have that central depth. I'd prefer to give up Brown or Norris, but Colorado isn't interested. All right, I have a minute, boys. I have a minute. Oh my gosh, we're on the clock. We are on the clock. Can I get a deal done with Colorado? Let's see. What am I willing to give up? So I have to throw Colin White in. That has to be fair. And Colorado needs that secondary depth scoring. That makes sense realistically. Oh gosh, we have a minute left. They don't have a bad contract I could take on. Maybe Barberio. So the 21st, Colin White, Lajoie. What else can I give up? I'm on the clock, boys. I am on the clock. I'm not going to overpay. I refuse to overpay. I will give up that, and I will give up a third next year. I will give up a third. 45 seconds left to make a trade. Trade accepted. Let's go, boys. Let's go. All right. Oh my gosh. The draft has to be so stressful in real life. Good gosh. It has to be so ridiculously stressful. That was nerve-wracking. 45 seconds left. Plenty of time, boys. Plenty of time. So, that was kind of a panic move. It wasn't a panic move, but I feel like if I had time to draw a trade up, it wouldn't have been that might not have been the pieces I gave up, right? You guys wanted me to trade up for DeAndre Sanford. I had to make it realistic, right? Colorado's a contending team, and they need that secondary scoring. That's why they trade for Kaji in real life. And Lajoie is a cheap prospect they can use for the next 2 or 3 years on that two-way contract, and they still get picks. So I think it makes sense for both teams, especially if they weren't as high on DeAndre Sanford as we are. So I took on a bad contract, not the worst, but it is $1 million of cap space that I saved them. And I acquired their first round pick, the 4th overall, in exchange for Colin White, Maxime Lajoie, and a 3rd round pick in the 2020 NHL Draft from Columbus, and the 21st from Boston. I don't know, boys. Geez, I gave up a lot there. But you know what? I feel like if you don't feel like you gave up something, if you don't feel like you lost something important, then the trade wasn't that realistic, right? Especially if you're trading for something as valuable as the 4th overall pick. So I turned the if you want to look at it like this, I turned Bodker, CC, and Colin White into the 4th overall pick. I'd say that's and Maxime Lajoie into the 4th overall pick. I'd say that's pretty fair value. All right, do my due diligence, boys. Let's see. Brayan Hall, defensive defenseman, A+ physical, A- defensively. character. That's a weakness, and he's a left-handed shot. I have 50 seconds to make a decision here. Bowen Byram, I don't have him scouted. 2 left-handed shots. Man, Detroit. I can't believe they didn't take DeAndre Sanford. What is up with that? Brian Monroe. What? All right. 30 seconds. Oh my gosh, boys. My hands are shaking right now. That was... So, DeAndre Sanford, 50 goal scorer, and not juniors. I guess it'd be the US NTDP. 300 shots, 22 goals on the power play, 44 power play points. He played PK minutes. 20 seconds. All right, yep. From the US NTDP program, the Ottawa Senators are proud to select with the 4th overall selection in the 2019 NHL Draft, DeAndre Sanford. My first ever draft pick, boys. Traded up to get him. Maybe I overpaid. Let me know. Let me know. Please tell me I made the right move. I just traded away Colin White, who had a fantastic rookie season. I feel like it had to be done if I wanted to get him, though. I didn't see Colorado selling that 4th overall pick for any less, right? They need that depth scoring. They need that secondary scoring. And they made their list as a contender, right? So they made the playoffs this season, right? I should have checked that beforehand. 18th, yeah. That's their pick? Yeah. So, yeah, they made the playoffs this season. Oh my gosh, boys. All right. I need to reset. All right, so that just threw a huge monkey wrench into my plans for the draft. I was going to say we use this draft to try and trade for a right-handed shooting defenseman, but I'm not going to expend any more assets or picks than I already have. Maybe we trade up for someone. Let's see. So this kid, Victor Soderstrom, is a right-handed shooting defenseman. I'm not going to trade up for him, though, with the 30th pick, right? Because I feel like there's a more valuable player, right? We can either get Byron Dillon, not Brendan Dillon, the Sharks defenseman, Byron Dillon. He scored 34 goals, 74 points, 284 shots. So he can shoot. And look at this, boys. He has an A-level shot. He has decent hands and decent senses. And compare him to, like, say, look, a top 15 pick. He's better than the top 15 picks, right? He has a better frame, bigger, stronger, probably faster because of it, and his shot just as good. I don't see any reason to not take this guy, take a flyer on him. If we have to trade up a couple picks, I'm okay with that. And maybe we can, let's see, is there any... All right, so maybe Kalia falls to us with that 2nd round pick, right? Maybe Kalia falls. When's he projected to go? 30th? Don't I have the 30th pick? I do. So what if I use, since it's only a matter of 2 spots, I use this 2nd round pick and I trade up to the, say, okay, what's a reasonable trade here? Who could I trade with? LA, no. I believe they're rebuilding. Maybe Pittsburgh. Byron Hall went 5th overall. That's a bar. Florida, 25th. I might move Zach Smith, but I want to make sure. I promised Zach Smith he'd have a role wherever he went. He could stay in the Eastern Conference this way. Now, do the Panthers... Let's see. So they have Vinny Trocheck. Oh, gosh. He's a stud. Who do they have behind him? Borgstrom. He might not be ready. Riley Shahan. Is he really their 3rd-line center? Oh, snap. All right. So we might have a potential trade here, boys. Let's see. They need that 3rd-line center for depth. Borgstrom might not be NHL ready. And even if he is, he's not going to be that 3rd-line penalty-killing center, right? He's a skill guy. So I'll go ahead and put Florida's 25th on the block. And I will put my 2nd. There we go. And let's see. Zach Smith. Go. So this trade, as it is, would go through. Now, I don't need to rush any of this, right? So they have the 57th. What do I have right now? 57th, 88th. I don't need to trade up from that. I'm looking to see if I can get a little more value here. Let me go ahead and take a look at the who we have pinned to our draft. Let's see our draft board here. Oh my gosh! All right, my nerves are back to normal, boys. We're good to go. Let's see. So Dimitri, he's projected to go 68th. I have the 50th-ish pick, so I can easily target him. And then there's these two low elite defensemen. David Von Fersen, very American name, and Ethan Fitzpatrick, 6'4", and the scouts have him listed as a gym. So I'm more inclined to target the gym. Definitely not in real life though. Ayo. Ethan Fitzpatrick, let's see. So he's projected to go 56th overall. So I might be able to snag him with my second round pick, right? Since it is the 56th or something, we can trade up a couple picks. That shouldn't take much, if any, value. Happens all the time in real life. And it's not going to make or break anyone's franchise, so I don't need to worry too much about realism there. You can just offer like a cheap depth player that we aren't going to use, like Ben Harper. I don't see him coming back with us, especially if he's unhappy. Now, let's see. So, Florida. What pick? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. What pick does Florida have? They have like the 57th. If I can get a little something back. Let's see. So, this trade's going to be a little tricky, boys. 57th, there we go. And in exchange for trading up the 32nd, I will give you the 88th and Zach Smith. I believe that's a pretty fair deal, right? Especially if they don't have anyone already pinned and picked out beforehand. They really have their sights set on the draft. So the 32nd, 88th, and Zach Smith in exchange for the 25th and the 57th. Will it go through? You aren't where you need to be in value offered, nor are we particularly interested in what you are sending us. So it's a little off in value. Is there anything else I can offer them? I could trade DeMello. He's not too happy about being here. Team's already interested in DeAndre Sanford. We might have gotten the best player in the draft, boys. I know his overall probably won't equal Jack Hughes or Kako, right? Because he has that medium elite potential, and they have high elite and medium franchise. But in terms of simulating, how the player actually simulates, I believe we might have gotten the best player in the draft. So, does Florida have a bad contract I can take on? Real quick, let me check that, just for 1 year. Here we go. Mark Pysyk. Is he a right-handed shot? He is a right-handed shot. Frank Vetrano. 3 years. I'm not interested in taking that on. I will take Pysyk. Did he play a big role? I don't want to... No, he played 14 minutes a night. So they still don't want to make that go through. Alright. If they really don't want to give up the other pick, I can just do this. There we go. Yeah. That's fine. I can target that next second later in the draft. Don't worry about that, boys. So let's go ahead and simulate up to there. Let's see. Is our guy still available? Did he fall? Hopefully. Now we still need... I'm happy we got the quality, right? But I think we are still far more in need of quantity than people might think. So Byron Dillon. His NHL comparison is Jeff Carter. And if he can be that big, fast, strong, physical presence, I feel like we can bully a lot of CHL teams, right? Or CHL. We can bully a lot of Eastern Conference teams. Gosh sakes, man. I got to get some sleep, boys. Pushing way too hard lately. Byron Dillon. So, yeah. 25th overall pick. 25th overall pick in the NHL Draft. The Ottawa Senators are proud to select, once again from the USNTDP, Byron Dillon. Welcome on board, baby. There we go. Now, we have the 30th pick, and I don't see any reason to trade up 3 spots for Kaliev. He might not fall to us, in which case I'll happily just take that low elite defenseman in the second round, right? I'm hoping he does fall to us, but if not, it's not the end of the world. It won't. Come on, come on. 2 more picks. Come on. Come on, LA. Your scouting sucks. Your scouting sucks, LA. Let's go. Come on, Arizona. Come on. Come on, Chaika. Don't do me dirty. Do not do me dirty, Chaika. Yes, boys. Let's go. Let's go. So, excuse me. Yeah, okay. Just like I knew. I knew this would work out. So, with the... I'm not even going to wait on this. I'm confident. With the 30th overall pick in the 2019 NHL Draft, the Ottawa Senators are proud to select from the Hamilton Bulldogs of the Ontario Hockey League, Arthur Kaliev. Oh, baby. A right-wing sniper. So, one of our biggest concerns the entire franchise mode has been acquiring that sniper. Well, we picked up 2 right-wing snipers in this draft, boys. Our right-wing depth is now looking fantastic. We have Duclair, Batherson, Sanford, and Kaliev. If that's not solid, I don't know what is. On the left wing, we have Kachuk, Formanton, Abramov, Balsers, and now... Oh, and Mahler, and now Byron Dillon. So, that is looking up there. We still lack that elite number 1 center, but maybe Logan Brown or Josh Norris. We might not need an elite number 1 center if we have 2 elite wingers already on that first line, right? Now, if we can still get in the draft next year, not going to complain, but I feel like the main focus now needs to be a right-handed shooting defenseman. All right, so let me see where... Do we have another second? And we have 56. So if I can trade... There's really only 2 more players. It's Malikov in the 4th round. I can get him with my 4th round pick. So I really... When's that medium league goalie projected to go? Dimitri? Because I need to snag him. Let me just check that real quick, boys. Let's see. So Volchenkov is projected to go 68. So I should trade up probably for like the 60th pick, maybe. Or a little higher. Or maybe because I need to get that low elite defenseman. Even though he's a left-handed shot, if possible, I would still like to snag him. Let's see. When is he projected to go? Not this guy. This guy, he's a little smaller. I want the bigger guy. And the scouts had him listed as a gem, which tends to pan out a little bit more consistently. Here we go. So he's not projected to go until 61st or 65th. One of those 2. So I think we can snag him with our 2nd round pick pretty safely. So really just need to trade up for either a very late 2nd or early 3rd. Shouldn't be too difficult. Let's see here. We can just throw in... Oh, sorry about that. I got to fix my mic setup, boys. I know people be complaining about that happening in the videos. Unprofessional. Alright, so 3rd. I'm willing to add a little value. I'm not taking on a bad contract, though, just for the sake of trading up a couple spots. I don't think there's much reason to. Let's see. Chaplick. I saw a couple of people saying we could get rid of him. Honestly, I feel like we might have a spot on him for the roster next year. I'd rather hold on to him, I feel. Let's see. What else? Are you interested in anything? Like when it's this low value, I don't think they have to necessarily be interested in it. It's just more boils down to, is there someone there they really want? And if there isn't, they're willing to trade down a couple spots, right? Because at this point in the draft, it's a crapshoot, right? It's a complete crapshoot. Anyone you draft could be the next Patrick Kane, or they could be an absolute bust. There's no way to tell. A lot of it has to do with development and whatnot. Let's see. Jaros. Jaros, he's a right-handed shooting defenseman. And I know I need more of those. Not necessarily less. But at the same time, I can't even see him really being like a number 6 or number 7 for us. So I'm pretty fine with giving him up. I will take on a skater with low value. I would rather hold on to Jaros if I had the choice, right? But trading him away is not going to make or break our franchise. So That trade is accepted with the New York Rangers, and this is quickly turning out to be... Whoa, was not trying to simulate the draft. This is quickly turning out to be... I don't want to sound presumptuous here, boys, but this draft, oh my gosh, we are crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. So, Fitzpatrick, and where is that goalie? Volchinkov. So I want to take Fitzpatrick first. So, with three of our four first picks in the draft have all been from the USA. How about that? America, baby. Ottawa, the capital of Canada, going to become America's team. Brady Tkachuk. Oh no, he's yeah. What am I saying? But there we go. All these USA players. Isn't Kaliev an American? I could be wrong. Someone please correct me if I'm butchering people's countries. Hate to be unpatriotic. I just don't know. Dmitry Volchinkov, very nice. There we go, boys. And I still have, let me just make sure I still have my fourth. I do. And that medium elite defenseman, measure twice, cut once, right? I want to be absolutely sure. So, let's see. He's projected to go 114. The first pick in the fourth round is around low hundreds, so we should be fine. If he gets snagged, I would hate to see it, but do we really need another left-handed shot? I would love to have like an elite player, right? Absolutely, but it's not the end of the world if we don't get him. So he's still here. Character, teammate utilization, and maturity. His weaknesses are hockey, skating, mobility, and foot speed. But we can put him in the AHL team that had a fantastic year, put him in the system, and hopefully he can grow. So, boys, we have had 5 picks in this draft so far, and 3 of them are elites. That is insane. 4 of them are, we've had 6 picks, and 4 of them are elites. Good gosh. We crushed this draft, boys. We absolutely demolished it. So, I could, I know, hold up, what's his, Hunter Kong. There's some potential with that name. If I didn't have anyone already picked out. Jason Guerin, here we go, a right-wing sniper. Another sniper added to the system. Now, you got to be careful with these little elites. You can't just say, well, I drafted this kid. He's now an A-level prospect. They could be anywhere from an 80-point player to not even cracking your roster, right? It all depends on the type of growth they get. They have very high ceilings, but also very low floors, right? Medium top sixes tend to have higher floors, but lower ceilings. That's the trade-off. So, our biggest problem right now is what I've been saying since the start, is a right-handed shooting defenseman. Anderson is at least 3 years away from being NHL ready. Wolanin, left-handed shot. DeMello, I don't think he can handle top 4 minutes. He was a minus 25 playing alongside Shabbat. 49 penalty minutes. I don't think he can handle top 4. Branchman, Shabbat, obviously lefties. So we need that right-handed shooting defenseman. I did some scouting around the league, boys. There's only 2 right-handed shooting defensemen on the trade block right now, in Callan Foote on the Tampa Bay Lightning, and on the Chicago Blackhawks, they had Adam Boquist. There he is, but he has that medium elite potential, and he's going to be very difficult to trade up for. Sorry about that, boys. We dropped some frames. We're back now. This video has been running super long. I don't want it to be too long. I'm going to try and do some power of video editing, cut the timing down, but I want to hurry up and get it over with so that we can move on to free agency. I won't get to it in this video as it's gone on long enough, but after an insanely successful year 1 NHL entry draft, I did not think we'd be able to crush it nearly as well as we did. This was insane. Let's see. Right-handed shot, may as well. Our biggest concern by far in the organization, and it is not close, is landing that right-handed shooting defenseman, right? I checked around the league. Boquist, Callan Foote, they were available. Callan Foote's at least 2.5 years away from the NHL. Boquist, his trade value is way too high. If we want to make a move for a right-handed shooting defenseman, it has to be through trade, right? It can't be through free agency. We need a guy who is at the very worst 1 year away And at the very best, he's already NHL ready, right? It doesn't have to be an elite superstar. We have Brandstrom and Shabbat on the point already. So they don't have to be an absolute stud. They just need to be able to handle top 4 minutes, preferably a defensive-minded guy, but I'm open to whichever. They need to not take too many penalty minutes. If you guys can think of any potential targets, let me know. And I will see you boys in the next episode where we tackle free agency and hopefully get up to the start of the season, maybe do a little bit of simulating, and we can see how good of a player DeAndre Sanford really is. I think he's going to be a franchise-level talent, and I'm so happy we landed him, boys. We got the best player in the draft. I'm going to end it there, and I will see you boys in the next episode.